Hey guys, so once again, we held the 50-day. This green line is actually the 60 EMA, but it pretty closely resembles the 50-day. I have the 60 on there, as most of our chat room members know, for the 5-minute chart. So anyway, nice bounce in the SPY. This is a daily chart, and I think the Dow was up like 550 points today, so pretty darn nice bounce. Nice day. I had a big day in chat myself as far as trading goes. As always, I'm in cash again. Always make my money between the bells and get back to cash for the overnight, and then start again the next day, right? Let me try to think of a couple of the highlights from today. One that I thought was cool and kind of obscure was this ALF that Frank G in chat. You know what I have after hours on there. Let me get that off. Frank G in chat posted when it probably looked about like this, and his idea was through 12 with the high of day just 5 cents above that, right? So you got the whole number inflection point. High of day, 5 cents above that, and yesterday's high, 40 cents above the 12. So you kind of had boom, boom, stat catalyst that breaks 12 and goes pretty darn quickly to 13.83. So that's a $1.83 move on probably worst case 30 cents risk. Pretty cool call by Frank. I called CPOP over 7 here as it started to come up. I called it through 7 with the red to green back through the open is what we mean by red to green, and the high of day just above on a stock. Let's go to the daily. That is, I'll take today's candle out of it. That is about as beaten up as you can get, right? This thing was almost 80 bucks a few weeks ago. Anyway, so you can see what happened here. It breaks the 7 right there, touches the high of day. Then once it breaks the high of day, it was all over. It just ripped. That was a really, really nice trade. From 7, it went to 877. So that's a big move percentage-wise. Nuro called a couple pullbacks in that, and there were some other nice calls in chat too, but I'm going to leave it at that so I can get to the watch list for tomorrow. AEHR had the big breakout yesterday. Today gapped up and then sold off some, but still closed, I don't know, probably in the middle of its 2-day range. So to me, it's kind of neutral, but it's a recent high flyer that's holding up pretty darn well, so I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Only with an A+ intraday setup, right? MITQ. Let's go to 15s. So MITQ, going back several days, hasn't really broken its early high. Let me go back a little bit farther. All right, so here it had this big rip, but then, and that was on July 12th. So the next day, put in its high early. You can see these vertical lines here are the opening bell, basically, right? So the next day, it put in its high early, and the next day, 2. The next day, what I mean is they haven't broken that early high, in the afternoon. And you kind of had a little bit of a morning breakout here, but it still put in its high in the opening, let's see, these are 15-minute candles, in the opening hour and 15 minutes, and then tailed off the rest of the day. So I'm not in love with this one, but what I am looking for is an afternoon breakout, right? So just say this had gone sideways for most of the day, and then this afternoon had broken this early high, I probably would have taken some decent size with that just because it's so oversold, all right? What is it? Maybe within the last 2 weeks, it's only been trading for a couple weeks. This thing was over 26 bucks and now it's trading around 4. So that's what I'm looking for in MITQ. CPOP, I'm just putting back on watch, had the biggest volume that it's ever traded, but closed well off its highs now. So you can tell a lot of people are watching it, and a lot of people know how oversold this was. This thing was almost 80 bucks a few weeks ago, right? So that's another one I'm looking for, kind of that afternoon breakout, which I typed in the same symbol, MRIN. Look at all these red days in a row. I'm just looking for a potential bounce. You can't see it on here, but it's basically sitting at the 50-day, which is, slightly above this green line. Remember, this is the 60. And had a massive short squeeze back here. It has fallen from 27, 26 all the way down to under 8 bucks. So that just goes on bounce watch. BHG. I've never seen this one before. A relatively new issue also, and just off a cliff here. I'm just looking for an oversold bounce. NURO is the definition of extended because it made such a massive move today, but I'm going to watch it because I'm a day trader. NEGG seems to have found support after this massive squeeze here, right? Seems to have found support around 25 and it's holding the 20-day, and it gets kind of big intraday moves when it does. Look at this one here. and this one here. So there's two really big moves in the last 3 sessions, and with it holding support, I do think it's kind of interesting. MOXC. This thing's psycho. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a psycho trader. But again, another massive move here. I'm just showing you 5-minute candles from the past couple days and a strong close today as well. You could argue that it's kind of coiling, but it's a crazy stock. It's like every time you think it's going to roll over, all of a sudden it rips to the upside. So I'm a day trader. I'm going to put it on watch. This is sort of my sleeper pick for tomorrow. SEED, which had this big breakout here. Remember, we were watching it this day. I can't even remember if I may have caught a trade in it, but I didn't catch anywhere near the big move. Anyway, it seems to have found support as well and is starting to curl back up. So I'm going to keep SEED on watch. That's SEED. SPCE seems to have found support after the gap down yesterday, popped, and then today put in an inside day. And it's holding the 200-day, which is not on this chart. The 200-day is somewhere right around $30. So might be up from here. We're going to watch SPCE. Couple more. TLIS. Big volume today, kind of a big breakout too. We're looking for some kind of continuation day tomorrow. And then OCGN is kind of obscure, but had a decent move yesterday from 637 to 767. Pretty good move, right? And today, kind of a quiet inside day near the highs of yesterday. So anyway, that's it. We'll add gappers to this list as well. Plenty to watch. And, you know, keep in mind it's summer trading. Things are slow. I didn't do much all morning and then had that really nice CPOP trade, and then things got rolling from there. All right, anyway, I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.